In The Red Door, in the film The Red Door, I portray a character named Roy Haddad. Showtime. One of the great things about working for Showtime is it gives you an opportunity to do characters that would not normally or characteristically be in the feature film world per se. They're smaller films, they're character-driven films. And for an actor, at least from my perspective, that's something that has always interested me. So in the films that I've done, Last Light, A Soldier's Sweetheart, and finally this, The Red Door, the characters have been very diversified. In The Red Door, Roy Haddad is a gay man who is dying of AIDS. He very clearly has a 3-month time span with which to try and pull together what he believes is important to him in his life and say goodbye. And the focal point of that for him is his sister, Natalie, who is played by Kyra Sedgwick. And it's a really, I hope it's a really moving piece about knowing when you're going to die and realizing what was important to you and trying to correct the things that we naturally just take for granted during the span of our life. Well, one of the things that I think that really affected Roy as the AIDS started to really move through his body was that he got physically weaker. So when you become physically weaker, and you can really simplify this, and literally when you get the flu very badly, you start to focus on what you have to accomplish as opposed to what you might want to accomplish. And we often take for granted that those are two separate things. And I think for Roy, what was really interesting was that in trying to kind of maximize what energy he had, he found what really mattered to him. Again, his character had so much bravado when he was healthy. And through the film, you find a lot of that bravado were defense mechanisms for things he was not dealing with. But in light of his upcoming death, he forced himself to deal with those things. And I think in a very, really beautiful way, he became the best person that he could possibly be. And his lack of energy allowed him to shed a lot of his insecurities, a lot of his angers. It is a film about resolutions and coming to those. And the disease forces him to confront those. Again, one of the things, I mean, and it's a complicated balance, because as much as the film confronts that, I think one of the really important reasons for making this picture is the fact that as a society, we have started to take for granted that AIDS is not a paramount health issue in our world today. I think the media has very irresponsibly reported the success of the prescription cocktails that are given to AIDS patients now. They have reported that AIDS is in fact stoppable, that although they cannot take the HIV virus out of your body, they can actually stop it in its tracks. That's simply not true. The numbers of people dying from AIDS is escalating year by year by year. And I think because we've left it out of the media's attention, or the media has not given it much attention, we as a society have not kept pressures up on our governments, respectively, to continue to fund for research. And I think this film is very timely with regards to that. One of the things that's really important for an actor, certainly for me as an actor to realize, is that if I were to play John F. Kennedy, I couldn't play John F. Kennedy. I would play my perception of John F. Kennedy, and I can't be somebody else. I can manifest an aspect of my personality that would suit a character. So every character that I've played is coming from my imagination and my perception. If I yell really loudly, that's me yelling really loudly. If I'm violent in one character, that's actually me being violent. If I'm sensitive, that's me being sensitive. So one of the challenges for Roy was a lot of the issues that I found him dealing with at the beginning of the film, I dealt with when I was younger. very short-tempered, grave lack of patience, thought I knew it, thought I was right all the time, didn't listen very well, a lot of those things. And I personally left those things behind to some degree at least on purpose, because I didn't like that about myself. I didn't like those qualities. So to bring them back kind of and put them at the forefront of a character for me, that was difficult. And trying to kind of maintain a level of honesty with bringing all of those aspects of a personality back that I really don't want to be associated with personally, that was a challenge to try and keep them separate. So those were things that I tied into very strongly at the beginning of the character. And then the other, again, I'm not dying. I was forced in playing Roy, imagining what it would be like to have to say goodbye to my mother and my sister and my brother, to not see my children grow up, to go through all of the things that this character was going through. And that was very painful. But one of the things that did come out of it for me was, I think, again, we take for granted while we are alive the incredible value other people are to us. And when you're dying and when you know that you're going to pass, those things come to the forefront. And so that was a really wonderful part of playing the character for me. I think The Red Door is a film that should be seen on political levels, just because, again, I believe that we have misled ourselves in believing that AIDS is not the serious health problem that it is. And I think just to realize that there are huge portions of our population that are going through this, and this film will help you in your ability to understand what other people are dealing with. Again, it's also a film about relationships and about family, and again, something that I think that we just so often take for granted. And I think it's a film that you will be able to identify with because this family goes through an incredible amount of pain, as they do joy. It's a very well-balanced and beautifully written piece by Mattia Carell. And I think anytime I go to see a film and I can pull something or extract something from that film that makes me feel less alone, the film is worth it 100 times over. And I believe you can get that from this.